Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Please pay attention to the following announcement from your streaming hosts. International streaming rules and regulations require me to provide you the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We will be flying the Junkers 52 3M-Retrofit. We are departing from Athens, and we are headed to Iraklion. Both of those are in Greece. I am not taking requests for flights at this time. Good morning, Joseph. My flight schedule was created well in advance and is subject to change based on my own schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are vintage aviation flights. Tuesdays are jetliner, regional jets, and any other kind of regional service, such as the one we did yesterday with the Embraer 110. Thursdays are military aviation flights. Saturdays are flights featuring the P-38 called Lightning Saturdays. Sundays are scenic flights. Any other information can be found in the description area below the video. Thank you for your attention. All right, so we will get in here and get going on our flight here in just a moment. Should be a fairly straightforward flight. Can't see anything that would keep us from getting there in a reasonable amount of time. So let's go ahead and get in here and get the aircraft started up, let it go through the checklists and everything, and we will be on our way. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. It's a little chilly here this morning, but looks like it's gonna be another nice day. Try to get a walk in today. All right. We don't want them talking just yet. We want to go through all the checks first. Hello, Amela. How are you? Nice to see you here. I'm going to go ahead and get this set up while we're on 5. There we go. Is that already set up? I'm doing good. Yeah. Doing good. I think we're going to take off from, we got a taxi, I believe. Mr. Addies is tired. Why are you tired, Mr. Addies? What's going on? You staying up way too late? Playing them gosh darn video games till 2 or 3 in the morning? Yes, I had just some sandwiches last night, peanut butter and jelly. Nothing. I really wasn't like super hungry. Just a couple sandwiches was fine last night. Nothing too fancy. It was still kind of warm too, so I didn't really feel like cooking or making anything. So yeah, it was sufficient. Turn that on. Yep. That's all set to go. Yeah, nothing too fancy last night. Yeah. Well, I did have sweet and sour chicken for lunch from across the street there. So it was a pretty big lunch. Well, it was pretty big for me. I mean, it's not like a huge serving, but it's more than enough to eat. And I think it was I went a little bit later than I usually do, so I had like a late lunch, but I wasn't too hungry either way. Waiting for the inlet oil temperatures to reach at least 40 degrees Celsius. Then we'll advance the ladder. It'll automatically advance the levers. We'll check the brakes, and then we'll finish the run up. Then we'll be on our way. Sweet and sour chicken from the restaurant across the street there, with pork fried rice. Yeah. The lunch is pretty decent price for the amount of food you get. Brakes work. Do our run up. Go ahead and south.
Ground jumpers Delta Alpha Quebec Uniform India with Charlie request taxi for takeoff south departure. Jumpers Delta Alpha Quebec Uniform India taxi 2 and hold short of runway 01.
Oh, good.
Using taxiway Yankee 2 Charlie Charlie 01 Delta Delta 12. Contact tower on 122.1 when ready. Taxi and hold short runway 21 left.
Yeah, Chinese restaurant. So we are where? I think we're over. It's okay. Yeah, it's like a little mom and pop kind of place. It used to, for a while when I first moved here, it was kind of empty. It used to be a little pizza place, and then his husband and wife bought it and turned it into a Chinese restaurant. Almost done with the run up. Nope, still got two more inches to do. We're on 1 inch and 2. Yeah, it was very successful for quite some time, and unfortunately with the pandemic, they did lose quite a bit of business. They were shut down for quite some time. I was surprised that they were able to keep it open, or like they kept it, but they lost a lot of business because of the pandemic, unfortunately. But once they kind of slowly reopened, I think most people who like their food, they went back. So, and it's just convenient for me because it's just right across the street. I can just walk right over, grab food, and come right back. I don't have to go anywhere else. All right. Probably put a little heat in the carbs once we're in the air, or just before takeoff. Yeah, they have. You could either, well, for the lunch one, you just get like pork fried rice. For but if you order other stuff, then it's like steamed rice. It's like the steamed white rice. Alright, one more engine to check here. Run up, and then we'll be all set. Now I did try, I'm going to have to try it again today because I think there were some issues last night but there was a flight that we were going to do in South America. And I think the altitude of the airport that we take off from, it's like almost 8,000 feet in altitude. For some reason, if you throttle all the way back, when you come to a stop, if you're throttled all the way back to idle, the engine will just die on you. So I gotta see if I think should be split. Put up all the tube peeps in one spot and the prop peeps in another. Oh, well, I don't know about all that, airlock doc. I mean, I get that the 737 has, it too high, it was too rich, have to lean it out for the, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to kind of tinker with it. I was kind of noticing that last night though. But thank you for your suggestion. I'll have to look into that as well. But yeah, I know a lot of people have been excited about the 737 Max, or not the 730, the 7 PMDG 737, which, you know, I can understand the reason why. It's, you know, it's something they've been wanting for quite some time, and not too bad, thank you. But you know, it's you know, it's one of those. It's like the new toy, right? Everybody's excited about the new toy, and you know, you can't blame them. But you know, eventually there'll be another new toy before we know it, and everybody will flock to that. And you know, so yeah, it's. But I do. This is the one thing that kind of. All right, I think that should be it. Let's do the before takeoff stuff here real quick. Too many. Well, yes, for the on the PC side, yes, there is quite a lot. But for the Xbox side, we're still, you know, we only have the stuff that came with the standard, you know, with the game, and then you have the few things that were on offer. Obviously, a lot of people don't care too much for the Captain Sim stuff. The Braddock 3D 737 Max has had its own ups and downs. The Embraers have had their ups and downs. You know, so yeah. But I mean, I don't know. It's one of those weird, you know. I can respect that people are, you know, it's something to be excited about, and other people are kind of like, about it. So, yeah, to each their own. Is it rising at all, or is it very slow? There we go. All right, now we're all set. All right, let's go. But it's nice to see, I think it's nice to see people excited about it and that they're enjoying it. You know, but there are a lot of people out there who are flying it, who are streaming it, and so there's like this, there's a saturation of everybody's take on it. And it kind of reminds me a bit of when a new route would come out on Train Sim World 2. A lot of the streamers would get it, and they would spend hours and hours, like, you know, so it was like that's all they would do for the first like 2.5 weeks or so, is, you know, they would be on that route on Train Sim World 2. So I think that's where things are at now with the 737. You have a lot of people streaming their take on it and trying different things to see what works. And, you know, like Captain Arsh, it was really interesting. It was fun last night. He did some, like, okay, let's see what kind of emergency procedures, what happens if we do this, and what will we do to, which I thought was really interesting, to have his take on it. And that's something different. A lot of people don't ever, I don't think, kind of really think about those sorts of things. But yeah, there is like a lot of people, there's just a lot of people flying it, which, you know, it's like I said, it's the new toy. Everybody's, because it's a PMDG product, everybody's like all, you know, because they do have quite a good reputation with the community. So I guess it's to be expected. Well, yeah, I get it. And that's the great thing. Just like, you know, I would always say about Train Sim World 2, there's something for everybody. You don't, you know, if you like freight, for instance, you can do freight services all day until you're, you know, all day to midnight, for instance. If you like passenger stuff, either like, you know, regional express, whatever, you can do all passenger stuff. There's something for everybody, and that's the great thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator. There is something for everybody. A lot of people prefer the general aviation stuff over the you know, the jetliner stuff, and you know, there's nothing wrong with that. I was, you know, I was all into the jetliner thing at first, and I was like, you know, it's kind of boring. You know, there's not, once you kind of get used to it, you just hit the buttons and then bang, the plane flies itself. Where, and you can still do that in prop planes, or you can fly it, hand fly it, you know, if that's what you want to do.
Alpha Quebec Uniform India ready at runway 21 left south departure. Delta Alpha Quebec Uniform India altimeter 2.9.9 21265.
But eventually, you know, there'll be another prop plane that'll come out, and everybody's like, oh yeah, that's what I've been waiting on, and it's going to be amazing. And, you know, so yeah, it's but it's good, you know. You know, like, you know, the 247 Delta was a big thing, and you had the DC-3 when that um, yeah. Yeah, the DC-3 is going to be amazing when that comes out. You know, it's going to be another one of those things for people to learn and conquer and all that. All right, let me see. I think I know which way. Yeah, like a yeah, that's like the great thing is a lot of people are finding, you know, especially with the more vintage general aviation stuff or what was used for airliners back in the day, you know, there is a market for that. There's a lot of people who are interested in flying those planes. I think my batteries are, so I don't feel these batteries are going to go here in just a minute. Matter of fact, once we get up here to the Yep, there it is. Once we get up here to the line, I will swap batteries here real quick. I was wanting to make sure, I was hoping they would be low by the time before we even got started, but I was trying to use them up earlier so I could swap them out before we got started. Alright, take care, Mel. We'll see you later. I think it'll be a while before. I don't think Nick's coming in today. He's got some other stuff going on. Alright, let's go. Yeah, I do. I saw it and I was like, man, I really would like to get that on the Xbox. You know, it's going to be amazing, I think. So, away we go. Yeah, I think the idea is airlock dock that it'll happen once they finish working on the WASM issue. I think that's the main sort of focus, is to get that dealt with, and then we can hopefully, get all the fun stuff. The stuff that we've been waiting on. So I think that's the main. That's what we're waiting on, because then once that's hopefully fixed, then it will open up a whole lot of stuff that that the Xbox side's been waiting on. Like the Electra, the 247D, all kinds of stuff. So I'm not very hopeful about this coming, tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be a very significant update for the Xbox marketplace. I just think there's still got so many issues with the Sim Update 9 that cause a lot of issues that they need to work on first. Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of a quiet chat, I think, today. So our first one, we are only going 28 nautical miles, and we're going to turn for 90 nautical miles. Or actually, it's not going to be very much of a turn. We're just going to make a small adjustment, but we're going to be heading kind of the same direction we are already. And then we'll make a turn to the south for 65 nautical miles, and that will be our airport. And we will put it on the ground, and we will be done. Maybe I need to put the flaps up a bit. Yeah, I'm not expecting too much tomorrow. It's probably going to be airports, scenery, and some liveries. That's about it. Nothing else too significant. I don't. But we'll see. But I just don't think, with everything that's happened, I don't know that there's. I think they still have a lot that they need to work on. Get some heat in the engines here. Go. Try to get this thing settled down. I think we got a little bit of a crosswind. This keeps taking us off course, but we'll be headed the right direction here shortly. We're pretty much headed the right direction. It's just keeping it going in the right direction without zigzagging back and forth. Miles. All right. So tomorrow we will be in the CM-170 Magistar, the French trainer jet aircraft from the 1950s. Very cool design. It's got this V tail in the back. So we're going to take off and we're going to fly that over France. And then Friday will be our last viewer requested flight for the time being. We're going from Alger to Paris in the A320. Lightning Saturday, Santa Rosa to Fresno Sunday. We will be departing from around Norway. We'll be heading southwest of the airport for a bunch of POIs, and then we will head over to California in the Kit Fox again from Red Bluff to Reno. Should be a nice chill flight for Sunday. I think things are finally kind of settled down here. No, the 20th of May, I was going to be in the, and I'll keep working at it. I just going to delay that flight until I can get the figure out about the mixture and everything and keep tinkering with that until I can keep the engines going without them stopping when I stop on the runway or anything else. But for the 20th right now, what I've done is I have a flight scheduled. Will be in the Cessna 337. Is that what it is? Cessna 337 Skymaster, the twin engine push-pull version. Got an engine in the front and an engine in the back. We will be flying in South America. There's a very cool. I kind of found it by accident. So we're going to take off from this one airport and we're going to go through this valley, and then there's this airstrip there in Chagul. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. We're going to head there. There's only one way in on runway 14, and then you have to take off because there's only one way out back to that valley. So we're going to come in, and it's going to be we're going to have to turn left, and then as soon as we come around the corner, like, the airport's going to be right there. So it's going to be a very interesting flight, but looking forward to it. Should be a lot of fun. Should be very scenic as well. But we'll give that a go. 20 nautical miles, aren't we? Lights off. Heat. All good. Yes, I do airlock dock. I use Aircast because at first, when I was only streaming on Twitch, I'd have to download and load it to YouTube, and it was a very long process to do. Like, if it was a long video, then of course it's got to go through all the checks and everything, and it just takes forever. So somebody told me about Aircast, so that's what I use right now, because I don't have a PC. I'm on a Mac, so I can't do like the I'll post the link right now. Should be me. Yep. There you go. Ooh, wow. Keep my eyes off the screen for just a moment. Aha, there he is. Well, some people do like Twitch because it's not it's not like compressed. It looks a lot better. So, but happy to have you here. hopefully Patrice pops in, because I gotta see if he can use that link now for the Discord. I think I solved the expiration problem thanks to Jody yesterday. So alright, there's our nav point right there. The only way they could make finding yeah. Well, like a lot of people, it's like they get it as a recommendation because they've watched other YouTubers stream, I guess, Microsoft Flight Simulator or something. I've had a lot of people say that, like, oh, it just came up in my recommendations. So, but most everybody that is here on this side is people that I've known from other streams, and so when I started streaming, they subscribed to me, and it's kind of grown. I mean, we're at 332 subscribers, or I am, not we, I am. But if it grows more, I think more people come in, that's great. But usually when you have more people come in, then it's a matter of you start getting that unpleasant crowd coming in. Because once you start getting popular, they kind of zero in on you. Alright, let me dial in the next freak here. 110. Alright, there we go. Give me a recommendation for live stream was the day after I watched an old clip from Dr. Disrespect. Oh, I've heard that name. I don't think I've ever watched any of his streams, but I do know the name. Yeah. I do know the name. Well, see, now I had to search when I was still learning about, Microsoft Flight Simulator and all that. I had to search on YouTube for information about the sim and what, to learn more. And then a lot of things changed for me when Captain Arish happened to raid my channel one day, and he's been very helpful in me as a streamer and some suggestions or whatever. So that's been really good. But yeah, it's worked out. But yeah, you just never know. People come in, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch. Sometimes you get those people who are just like, they've got nothing better to do with their time. So they're should be at VOR DME. Why are we not? Maybe it's a low. Oh, let me take a look at me. I hope I put that in there. One 11040. Yeah. Send. Maybe we're not close enough for oops. Should be a VOR DME. Huh. Interesting. Now maybe it'll pick up once we get a little bit closer, because it's 90 nautical miles, so maybe there's something in the way blocking it. I don't know. Zero ability. Yeah, that's true. But I found most of the people who do live stream over on Twitch for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then they load up to YouTube later. So, because some people feel it's better to grow their audience over on Twitch. So, I guess if it makes sense, if you are like, I'm close to making like affiliate or partner or whatever. Like, I just need, there's like a couple things, but I guess if you commit to live streaming on Twitch and then maybe a day or two later you could upload it to YouTube, I guess, if that's what you want to do. If you want that monetization of your channel over on Twitch, it's certainly an option. Yeah, I just, when once I met Captain Arish and I started, followed him, and then Two-Tone Murphy and Allison, and there's more people that I've found through him that are always willing to help out and help people learn more. And that's what I was kind of looking for, was some of the stuff I was like, I don't understand, like the VOR stuff. I had no clue how it worked. And then, when Captain Arish, she's like, well, if you do this, this, and this, and I kept working through it, and it's like, oh, now it all makes sense. So, yeah, it's been great. I'm very happy that, we ran into each other, and Allison, getting to learn some different things from her, and then also the things that she's doing, as far as the, historic flight, replicating Amelia Earhart's flight and all that. I think that's just absolutely fascinating, and that's not picking it up either. Maybe it's a little. Maybe we have to be a bit closer to it. Yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect of it. That to learn more. Let's see. Oh, I bet you I know why. SNI might be. Okay, I see it now. I wonder if I tune in 11640 instead. Let's try that. There we go. All right. It gave me it wrong. It should have been SAN. I don't know why I picked the wrong one. But yeah, I've really enjoyed that. I hopped in with Captain Arish on his flight over there around Australia. I think I joined him somewhere around Perth. I've missed a few other flights, but I try to fly with him whenever possible. And it's strange because when I first started flying with him, there was a lot more people, and now it's kind of, for some reason, it's kind of there's not as many people as there used to be. And maybe it's just that some people have had to go back to work, or they just, other things are happening that they just don't have the time anymore. But I'm going to try, once Allison's back from her vacation and her and Captain Arish pick up on their next legs, I'm going to try to fly with them. I don't know if I can do the whole, like, I think the one when they come back, it's going to be a bit of a long trip. I don't know that I'm gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do the whole thing, but we'll see. All right, so 75 nautical miles left to our second waypoint there. We're just trucking right along here. So as soon as we get on the ground and park it there in Iraklion, we'll wrap things up for the day. Now I've been to this airport before. It was one of the ones I, kind of flew at. I think I did a night flight to here one time. Should be a nice, interesting approach into the airport. And then we'll park it, shut it down, and then we'll be done for the day. And then we'll be back tomorrow in the CM-170 Magistar. I was up extra early, so I'm going to take a nap before I can. All right, take care. Thanks for stopping by Airlock Dock. Appreciate it. Enjoy your power nap. Thanks for stopping by. Mr. Addies, are you still lurking, or are you engaged in somebody else's stream? I think you are. And if you are, that's fine. In fact, I know I can find you. I can find you. Let's see if my there. Interesting. Yeah, we're maintaining pretty good here. Let's see, what's our... Now, I don't have the engine stress on, but I want to try to keep our, our numbers in the green there. So right now they're doing well. Mr. Addies, what are you doing today? And Patrice pops in because I want to see if he can the link works over there on Discord now. I really appreciate Jody pointing that out, that it was an expired invitation. So, ooh, I got to do the close apps. A couple people are lurking. Come on in, say hello. It's all good. We have 66 nautical miles to our second waypoint, and then we will turn to the south for 65 nautical miles, and we will be landing. So this is leg 7 of our 32-leg flight to the former Dutch East Indies, now known as Indonesia. This was a KLM route many years ago. You know what I wonder if I can take a KLM tailcode from the 1930s and put it on here, if it would identify as a KLM flight. I wonder if I might have to try that maybe next Monday. That wouldn't work. AIP. Guess I could use that. We could try that maybe. See if that gives us a KLM identifier. Because KLM did not fly the Junkers 52. What's happened is that the Fokker F7B that we have, the flight model is kind of jacked up right now. The simulated flight model, I guess you could say. So getting the aircraft to maintain the proper cruising speed, the settings for the power and all that, like your throttle, and everything, do not really match up. So, and there's nobody's done like a video to kind of show how to make it all work correctly, I guess. So, I'm gonna We're going to use the Junkers 52 in the meantime. AIP or PHALY. Okay. All right. Let's see what are 55 nautical miles. All right. So we're almost halfway there to our second waypoint. The plane finally kind of settled down here. Nope. Be a field game somewhere. Thought there was. Fuel pressure. Oh, 3 likes. Thank you all for that. Appreciate it. People are popping in, leaving a like, and dipping out. See people loading up their laundry to go to the laundromat down the street. That reminds me, I gotta get some laundry going today. Somebody's moving out almost. We had a little dust up here in the complex yesterday evening. A couple people fussing in the parking lot. Gay. All right. We have 45 nautical miles. We are just reached our halfway point to our second navigation aid, second waypoint. So we're just working our way towards Iraklion. I'm going to step away for just a moment, folks. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. So our second point is on an island. That really narrows it, doesn't it? Here, all these islands. Let's see what the island looks like now from the air, and we are passing. Yep, I know exactly where we are. Done. Technology. Get there faster, better, stronger. Quiet chat today. Nobody likes to talk when Mick's not here, I see. airlock dock, and I could only carry the conversation for so long before I see you lurkers. It's all good. You're here watching, that's all that matters. So for those of you who are lurking, if you're not familiar with what we're doing here today, this is part of our Vintage Aviation Wednesdays. We do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and eventually it'll be Fridays. A week from this Friday, we will do some other vintage aviation flying. We are in the Junkers 52 flying a vintage KLM route that left Amsterdam and is heading to the former Dutch East Indies, which is now known as Indonesia, when Indonesia was a Dutch colony. So KLM did this route for business people who were flying down to Indonesia for business purpose. But along the way, they were very much about passengers enjoying the wherever they stopped at for the evening. They would enjoy the local cuisine and some touristy sort of stuff, you know, seeing some of the sights and everything. So it wasn't that you were just traveling for business, but it was also like a mini vacation in a way. So that was part of their selling point, I guess. But this route, I did some research and found this. Unfortunately, the Fokker F7B that has the 3M-Retrofit, that has the KLM livery, it's not. There's some issues with the flight model. The way that it's put together just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. So I've gone back to flying the Junkers 52 in the meantime. I'm going to still keep trying to figure out some sort of possible solution, some kind of workaround if possible for the Junkers 50 or the KLM F7B to be able to fly that again. But in the meantime, we will fly the Junkers 52 in hopes that there will be an update to the Fokker F7B that will change the simulated flight model for the better, get it a little bit more in line with what it's supposed to be doing, if possible, as close as it should be. It's a little bit, doesn't make too much sense. It's like somebody's moving out. Oh. I can't blame them. There's too many strange characters have been around this area lately. And it doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. Oh, let's see what else. So that's what we're doing. So this is our Junkers 52. This is the retrofit model that has the more modern navigation stuff in it. It's got a DME distance device that we can see how much longer we've got to go to our to our waypoint there. So it's very helpful if you don't use the VFR map, which we shouldn't, but if you turn that off and you can check to see if this is going the correct direction, if it's starting to count down as we get closer, then you're pretty much in line with between that and this device down here, this dial this information here and the information down there, you should be able to tell that you're heading basically the right direction. Part of it too is we should be timing our legs to know from one point to the other how long it will take, and when we need to make our turn towards our next waypoint. But those are all things we'll need to start incorporating into our flying. In a few weeks, I think it was there's the point that we will I think it's late May or early June. There's going to be a point where we're going to take off, and there's going to be no navigation aids at all. We will literally be flying visual flight rules. We won't have any kind of navigation aid to dial in, like a VOR or anything. So it's going to be very. We'll have the VFR map open, but I'm going to try to just, as long as I can, just show like a visual, see something visually that will tell me exactly where I am. But it's going to be a long flight. It's going to be about 4 hours, I think. I've tried to find anything that would give us some kind of a reference point to fly towards, and there really isn't. The airport, as far as any kind of charts go, it does not exist like on SkyVector or anything like that. It was a very small airport. I think it's kind of washed out now, so it's not in use, but in the sim we can fly to it, so we will. We're going to use the VFR map, and we're just going to have to kind of fly that way and try to maintain our heading towards the airport. But it's going to be a pretty long, tedious flight. We'll have some nice scenery. I think on the, let's see, which one is it that we fly to? Okay, on the 18th, which is a week from today, we'll be flying into Cairo. That should be an interesting flight. Should be fun. We'll see some scenery as we come into Cairo, surely. See if we can spot some of the pyramids and some other interesting areas. We did do a long way back. I think it was either earlier this year or sometime last year. We did do a scenic flight around Cairo. Previewers have popped in. Welcome if you're new. If you're returning, hello again. Yep. Pop in. Say hello, folks. It's so good. Nothing to be scared of. Hello, Dillis. Welcome. Please pay attention to the following announcement from your streaming host. International streaming rules and regulations require me to provide the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are currently flying the Junkers 52 3M-Retrofit. We departed from Athens and we are headed to Iraklion. Both are in Greece. I am not taking requests for flights at this time. Oh, thank you, Dillis. My flight schedule is created well in advance and is subject to change on my own personal schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are vintage aviation flights. Tuesdays are jetliner, regional jets, and regional prop services. Thursdays are military aviation flights. Saturdays are flights featuring the P-38 Lightning, called Lightning Saturdays. Sundays are scenic flights. This Sunday we will be in Norway, and then we will pop over and do a bush flight in California. Any other information can be found in the description area below the video. Thank you. Yeah, we're doing a KLM route that was heading towards, or it is heading towards, the former Dutch East Indies, now known as Indonesia. A lot of the airports have changed over the years, so, and because they would fly maybe 2 or 3 legs a day, you know, they would go from sun up to sundown as long as the weather was good, because it was all VFR flying. There was no nighttime flying. So I've kind of broken it up into a total of 32 legs. This is leg 7 of 32. So we will pick this back up on Monday, when we will depart from Iraklion and head towards Mirsa Matru. That's going to be a bit of a long flight. We have a leg that's 230 nautical miles long, so that is going to be a bit of a long day. So, a long flight. We've got 17 nautical miles. Then we're going to tune in on 10880. Let me verify all that. Perfect. So we are on our way. We're once we land there in Iraklion, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Pardon me if I'm butchering the name. Once we land there and park it, we'll be done for the day. We'll be back tomorrow. 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK. In the CM-170 Magistar. It's the French jet fighter, or jet aircraft. Oh, okay, nice. I've been to this airport before, flying in it in the sim, but all my hours and everything got reset, so this is going to help kind of build things back up to, I was almost at 400, and all of a sudden it all got dumped. So I don't know why, but technically I would be at 500 here within the next day or two, but it is what it is. So yeah, should be a nice flight here. We're roughly at the last quarter of the flight, I believe, just about. 14 nautical miles. Yeah, it was like it was a surprise. Like when I did a flight and then it said I only had like 3 hours, and I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean 3 hours? And I looked and it was like all my hours were gone. My logbook was completely wiped out. So all the early stuff is gone. I've been tracking my flights myself on a spreadsheet. Like I'll put the aircraft, the date I flew, or departure airport, or arrival airport, the hours, and then I tally it up. So yeah, it's been oh man, I was so close, and I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, but it happens. Alright, 10880 for our final VOR DME. Should take us right to our airport. When we're probably about 30 something nautical miles out, I will see if we can call in and get our clearance for landing, and then we'll come around and put it on the ground. Hoping we can just do a straight in approach. I think we will. Even if it doesn't say we can, that's what we're going to do. So this should be my favorite aircraft. I like them all. I mean, they all have their strong points. You know, like I do like the vintage stuff, like this Junkers 52. Just because it's a little bit different, but it has the modern navigation stuff as well. So it's a little bit easier to fly. Yeah, this is my favorite vintage one. Of between the Fokker F7B and this one, I prefer this one, to be honest. General aviation wise, I would say the King Air 350i. Jetliner, I would say the A320 for sure. I mean, because the other stuff is just, it's got a bit of a mess. It's just a mess right now. The Kit Fox is great for bush flying. I got that, and I really am enjoying that. Of the two Flying Iron vintage Warbirds, it's a tie between the P-38 and the Spitfire. I like them both. But yeah, I try to do a little bit of everything whenever possible. I don't want it to be that we're just used to one aircraft, and then because then it just kind of gets boring after a while. So, yeah. Alright, we should be on our waypoint here in just a moment. Set the bend just on the other side of that little high mountain there, or high hill, whatever it is. Oh, there's an airport there too. Look at that. That's Santorini. Oh yeah, I think we've landed there before too. Well, um, well, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do like a themed sort of part or something like that, like what I'm doing, where like Mondays and Wednesdays are like vintage aviation stuff. You could just do small, like if you could find an area where there's just a bunch of small airports and you take off from one, you land, and then you take off again and go to the next one. There's something like that. There's lots of different things you can do. And what I do is I write down, like, I have a whole plan for the month. And I write down, okay, on this day we're flying from here to here. Now, that's all subject to change. If for some reason, like, the aircraft doesn't work, then I will find a suitable replacement, or I will just wipe the flight and we'll try something different altogether. Yeah, I just... Sorry for the noise in the background. Yeah, I would try that. You can get the, or you could just put it together like on a spreadsheet or something, and then you can just put all your, like, your navigation stuff, like your VOR stuff. If it's IFR, you don't really have to worry about that because it'll be on the system. But yeah, you can do all that way. I think. Alright, let's go ahead and dial in our next 8. 0. And that's on a heading of 1.88. Yeah, you could do it that way. You could just pick something to start with. Pick a general aviation plane and just do some flying with that, and expand from there. And again, we're not getting a. This is supposed to be a VOR DME. I thought I verified the frequency. Yep, alright. Should be getting maybe if we get a little bit closer, maybe it's doesn't broadcast out as far as we would like for it to do. But yeah, I would try just some general aviation stuff, like the Cessna 172 is a good place to start. Just do a, take off and go somewhere and land, and that's a good way to do it. There we go. Now we picked it up. Start dropping a little bit of altitude here. Yeah, that's my advice. I mean, of course you'll do whatever you feel comfortable doing, but yeah, I would say the Cessna 172 is a good place to start. Okay. Take care, Dillis. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully you get your wish. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day. Yep, I'll be on tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC. So, I'm not sure how far ahead you are of the of UTC. I think you're 2 hours ahead, maybe 3. But that's what we're going to be doing. We'll be in the CM-170 Magistar flying over France. So that's what we got planned for tomorrow. If you can come in and hang out, you're more than welcome to. If not, it's perfectly fine. It's no harm, no foul. Take care. And thank you for joining the Discord also, Dillis. Appreciate that. I do update the schedule every Sunday after we're done with our scenic flights. I will put in the week's schedule. If I'm not flying that day, I will post in the announcement that the flight's canceled. So do check that whenever you have time. So that's good that that link is working now. Excellent. Alright, still got a bit to go. Flight's gone very well. Knock on fake wood. Ooh. Big crack in the knee. Ooh. We still got a little bit more to go here. Probably another 16 nautical miles, and I'll see if... matter of fact, let's just see if it's even on the list right now. Oops. Oh, there it is. Wow. All right. Well, we've got our permissions. So right base 27. So that means we would come in. Where we're heading. Look up our right base. Alright, we'll do that. That's fine. Well, thank you all once again for coming in today and hanging out. Thank you to the new viewers. Thank you to the old viewers and everywhere in between. Nice to have you all here. We'll be wrapping things up once we land. We'll bring this flight to a close. We'll be done for the day. Ugh. Stretch more when I get up in the morning. 40 more nautical miles. Getting there, folks. We're getting there. We'll have to do a second video later today. Oh no, I better not. So I think I'm going to go flying with. I don't know what Captain Arsh is doing. Doing the next leg of. Flying around Tasmania or not. I think he is. Sorry, 6 likes. Thank you for that. Well, we always kind of start off a little bit slow, and then it kind of picks up a bit towards the end. Lots of people either like to see the takeoff or they like to see the landing, and that's about it. They don't like anything else in between generally. We just want to wake them up when we get to our destination. We are 31 nautical miles out from our destination. Should be like over, I believe it's kind of over that way. Looking for it's a pretty good sized island. Yeah. Part of the chain of Greek islands here. I've always wanted to visit the Greek. I'd like to visit Athens for sure, but I'd like to visit the islands as well, just some of the scenery and everything. I want to give a couple shout outs today to some folks. First off would be Mick Watford. All of the folks I'm talking about, you can find them in my awesome streaming section. So Mick has helped me out immensely. When I started streaming, he helped me plug my channel. So go check them out. They do a lot of FIFA, GT7, they do F1 multiplayer races. What else? He does Farming Simulator 22. Pulse is partnered with Mick. They play a lot of the same games together, but Pulse does a lot of other things on his own. I think he's working on the Uncharted series. I think he was Uncharted 2 or something like that. So go to check him out and give them a subscription, please and thank you. Joseph Adams plays a lot of FIFA, does some bus sim, train sim World 2 I should say, on the road, all kinds of different stuff, so you go check him out as well. The British Ace, very well known in the Train Sim World 2 community. It has a lot of showcases a lot of the new stuff when it comes out, so do go check him out if you're into trains. Very, very well known. He's an ambassador for Dovetail Games to the community. So if you have any questions or if you're not sure about a route, if you want to, he always, when it comes out, he usually plays it for quite some time, and he will give you a pretty good idea of what the route is like. Jody Swales, I think I said your name correctly, Jody. I apologize if I did not. Also, YouTuber, does a lot of Train Sim World 2 stuff. I think also F1, Farm Sim 22, I think. And then we'll be featuring the new bus. I think it's called the bus on her channel. When it comes out, she's getting it on the PS5. So do go check all of them out. Greatly appreciate it if you go give them a sub. Check out their content. Thank you. I need to add in, I gotta do that today too. Captain Arish, if you're looking for multiplayer flights, he usually does that Mondays and Wednesdays. He's doing a round the world tour in the Cessna 172. He took a little bit of break to play with the BAE 146 and also the PMG 737 that was released on Monday. I think maybe tonight we're getting back to the flight in Tasmania. And then also Allison Johnson, her and Captain Arish partner up on Saturdays for their doing the around the world tour of Amelia Earhart, all the places that she went before she and Fred Noonan disappeared. So if you're interested in that sort of history, do check them out. Even if you don't want to fly, just go in, especially her, well, both of them. If you just want a chilled, relaxing stream to watch, both of them are really good. But if you're interested in the history sort of stuff, Allison is definitely your person. And she's putting together a group of female aviators. I think they're called the Fireflies, to kind of bring more women into the flight sim community, do some flying together and everything. But generally, well, I should say not generally, but everybody's welcome no matter what. So do go check her out. I'll put the links in here. As a matter of fact, I'll do it right now, since we're still working towards our destination here. We still got a little bit to go. Allison's on vacation right now, so she's not flying until the 24th of May, it looks like. Here's Allison's Twitch, if you want to check her out and see what she's been up to. Arish is right here. In fact, he did this stream last night with the new 737 PMDG. So do go check them both out. Always a good time, lots of fun, very interesting stuff. Hello, Yudhistira. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Welcome. We are getting ready to land here pretty soon in Iraklion. We will be churning in and making a right leg into the airport. We should be kind of heading a little bit to the left there. We should run into our base. So I'll just give you a quick rundown. I'm on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are flying in the Junkers 52. We took off from Athens and we are headed to Iraklion. I am not taking requests for flights at this time. My flight schedule is created well in advance and is subject to change on my own schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are vintage aviation flights. Tuesdays are jetliner, regional prop, and regional jet flights. Thursdays are military aviation flights. Tomorrow we'll be in the CM-170, a French jet aircraft from the 1950s. Saturdays are flights featuring the P-38 Lightning, called Lightning Saturday. Sundays are scenic flights. This Sunday we will be over Norway. Any other information can be found in the description area below the video. Thank you very much for your attention. Alright, so 16.6 nautical miles. We'll turn more to the left once we're past this little island here. I believe our pattern entry is somewhere over behind those clouds. Also, as I get ready to land, I'm going to turn my laptop to the side so I don't get distracted by the chat, because usually when I'm trying to land, that's when a lot of people start asking questions. So or making comments. I will catch up to all that once we are on the ground. Once we land and park, we'll shut the aircraft down and we'll be done for the day. Back tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC in the CM-170, 1950s French jet aircraft. It's used for training and also some small attack rolls. It's a very interesting design. It's got this V shape in the back on the tail, so it should be fun to fly. I've flown it a little bit already, but it'll be a good flight tomorrow, I think. Drop some flap here to start to get slowed down a bit. Not too much. We need to start dropping altitude as well. There's our pattern entry right there. All right, perfect. All right. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and turn the laptop to the side while I prepare for landing here. I will catch up with the chat once we are on the ground. Thank you. It's been a great flight today all around. I don't think we need that on anymore. All right. Yes, Joseph, I'm still going. It's not a quick flight. We talked about it at the very beginning, I'm pretty sure. They're not going to be quick flights. Sometimes they will be, sometimes they will not. This is about average. Matter of fact, I think we're getting here a little bit quicker than I expected. There's our destination there in front of us. Coming on the pattern here just to expedite the landing. Alright. Here we go. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed today's flight. Thank you all once again for coming in and hanging out for however long you could today. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Joseph. Right. We're almost there. Alright, here we are. There we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Iraklion. Not sure what the local time is. We know and appreciate the fact that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures. And we are glad that you chose to fly with us today. This is an interesting. I guess we're going to park right over there. Do join us tomorrow. In the CM-170 Magistar for okay. So we'll be flying the Magistar tomorrow for Military Aviation Thursday. So if you can join us for that, please do so. Should be a fun flight tomorrow. Thank you all once again for coming in and hanging out. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's flight. We'll park it and we will be done. We are going to the... Oh. Okay. Well, this is a rather interesting way to get there, but alright. I thought we were parking over here, but apparently we're doing the loop-de-loo on the ground. That's okay. Well, at least we get a little tour of the airport here. Yes. Oh, oy. That's the other little airstrip. We could have probably come in on this one over the water, but that's okay. Like how they send us to the field. They don't send us to like a other spot. All right, let's turn our lights off. Let's see if we can get the door open. There we are, for our passengers to jump down the wing there. All right, let's shut the batteries off. Right. One, there's two. All right. An hour 50. So we did way better than the 2.5. Although, you know, we've been streaming for about 2.5 hours now because we did the run up and everything, get the engines all warmed up and all that stuff. So there we are. But yeah, not too shabby for the flight overall. That will be it for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow in the CM170 over France. Do enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I almost said Monday. I don't know why. Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening, early Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.